Okay, so we are recording, and excuse my man voice. It's actually coming back. It sounded worse yesterday. It's just from talking too much last week. But what a great convention it was. This was my fifth convention, I believe, Dallas, Scottsdale. Yeah, my fifth convention, and it was amazing. I mean, like every year, it gets better and better and better and better and better. And this year, I felt like took a huge leap even from last year, and it was just absolutely amazing. We are a part of, like, I have chills even talking about it. I'm not kidding. We are a part of the most amazing company ever, and we are a part of something that is changing people's lives daily, weekly, monthly, all the time. To know stories of people who spoke and who were on stage, and how Plexus has changed their life. For those of you that don't know, Alita, who was our awesome, that she's a Sapphire who wrote the song Legacy and sang it twice, which was amazing. 2 years ago, her husband died unexpectedly the week of convention. And so to know that Plexus was there for her, people rallied around her, and that this was a provision that God gave her to be able to take care of her children, and for her to blossom from that, um, is just it's just a story of how one story of how Plexus has changed somebody's life. And so I can't imagine losing my husband, and being not having an income, but knowing that Plexus was there to help and allow her to be a flexible mom. I mean, she can be there for her family first, right? And that's not always the easiest thing to do when you're having to work at a desk job. Nothing against desk jobs by any means, but in that situation, it was an amazing blessing to her. She's just amazing. So anyways, there's so much good stuff. I'm just going to go over a few tidbits, but I'm really not going to talk too much on this one because we have some fabulous people speaking. We have some newbies that have never spoken on a Zoom. We have some newbies that were never at convention before. And we actually have somebody from each breakout session that are going to share us their takeaways from the entire convention. So I did just want to pinpoint things that happened. Obviously, Joyum we launched last week. I mean, not last week, sorry, last month. Just a month ago, which is crazy. And amazing results. We know we're all having results, but they posted the clinical trials of Joyum after 8 weeks, 100% reduction in facial lines and wrinkles of users, 91% reduction in under eye puffiness, 91% improvement in skin elasticity, 97% improvement in skin barrier function, 97% reduction in pore size, and 100% increased hydration. That's a product that works. Don't forget about it. That product could change your business alone, because people care about their skin for sure. So don't forget about that. Next, we learned the differences in our XOS Slim and our Slim Hunger Control. Guys, this product is absolutely amazing. If you have people wanting to lose weight, it is a great product, that the new Hunger Control. I know I've lost about 6 pounds. I'm not eating nearly what I was eating before, but it's a great product. Also, there are some people who have like autoimmune type diseases that had problems with XOS. This one is so far people are handling it okay. So, and people were testers. So I know several people that had autoimmune that couldn't do XOS that are doing controlled great. Plexus Lean was rolled out, and Mandy's going to talk more about the products and details, but Plexus Lean is a meal replacement or a snack. So it can be just like your protein shake, or it can be your meal replacement. Guys, I want to emphasize this huge. If you are starting Hunger Control and Lean at the same time, you have to start slow. There is so much fiber in both of those that people could have stomach issues at first. I have been on Hunger Control for about 6 weeks, and I started Lean yesterday and did not have problems so far, but because there's so much fiber, you have to start slow. So, I personally would recommend, start Hunger Control for a few weeks and then start Lean. But if you want to do both, which is totally fine, just be sure and start it slow. Maybe start with half a stick of Hunger Control and maybe like one of the scoops of Lean instead of going full in. And I always recommend starting products, not everything at the same day. So if you're going to start both, start Hunger Control maybe for 1 or 2 days and then start Lean, but remember to start slow for sure, because we don't want any tummy issues, right? So Mandy's going to talk about that. We have new resources. Our Success from Home magazine rolled out. It's amazing this year. If you were not at convention, if you're at a convention, you got a copy. I want to encourage everyone to go in and purchase more from their back office. They're great marketing tools. You can share them, you can pass them out, but they will only be in your back office for a short time and only until things sell out. They also told us that we are launching Australia next. And so, yes, we are in Australia, but there's all kinds of rules. It's kind of like how Canada was. They can't do things the way we can do, but our next country to open fully will be Australia. And so that's super exciting news. I know we already have some Australian ambassadors. The next thing that they talked about were the new incentives. The 300, 500, and 700 Club CCs and the fun prizes that you're going to get with that. And then this month they're having a incentive. And so, okay, let me read it because I'm going to mess it up. So if you enroll 3 customers and or ambassadors, and of course there's welcome packs and minimum PBs you have to do. You get a beach towel, roll 6 if any, and get this super cute pineapple float, which is so cute. And then enroll 9, you get this awesome beach bag. So anyways, that's a great incentive. And then, of course, Leaders Retreat Cruise. Who's excited about the cruise? So some of you may not know this, but they're doing Leaders Retreat a little bit differently this year, and it is absolutely amazing and a huge opportunity for each and every person. So this year, the Jewels are not going to Leaders Retreat, which opens up a huge opportunity for everyone else. And so I am just super excited that the prizes, all of that is open to everyone. And not that it always hasn't been, but I know it's been harder. And so this really does give you guys a way to earn all of these prizes. And there's fabulous prizes. And so the cruise alone, holy cow, it looks amazing, right? Who's excited about going on that cruise? So I do want to emphasize, though, it is the first 1,200 people because obviously they can't add another section onto the cruise or another hotel. So get busy with that. You want to be on that ship for Leaders Retreat for sure. So anyways, there will be a few Jewels who are training there and stuff like that. It is a time for y'all to step up as leaders and learn and be poured into so y'all can go out and be super strong leaders as well. It's going to be a great time. Nobody wants to miss that. The next thing that I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. As y'all know, a couple of years ago, Plexus opened this huge office, amazing office, and we've already outgrown it. And so Plexus has purchased another piece of land right by the home office, and they will start building on that eventually. I'm not sure of the timeline for sure, but amazing that just 2 years ago when we went for, I think it was it even 2 full years ago? I can't even remember when we went for grand opening. There was so much space, and I can't believe they've already outgrown it. It's crazy amazing. So anyways, and then another huge thing, and guys, if this didn't tug at your heartstrings, holy cow, they launched Plexus Charities. We have our own charity. Is it 501c? I'm sure I did the numbers wrong, but and we are joining with Feeding America. And if y'all were there and watched the video, oh my word, that totally pulled at your heartstrings. Just talking about the number of people who are hungry in America and people that you may not even know it and what they're having to do. And so actually every bag of lean is sending meals to people at Feeding America. And so anyways, just super amazing that Plexus really is giving back to our community. Another super exciting news is that we now have a scientific advisory board with 4 amazing doctors and amazing credentials. I posted those on my team page, so you have to look at that. And we'll learn more about that and more about their credentials and start hearing from them soon. So anyways, okay. Christy Wright, John Maxwell hit it out of the park. Both of them amazing speakers, and we'll talk about that later. Okay, and it's the breakup. Okay, so I talked really fast, but I don't want to talk too much on this one. I want to let everybody else talk. So first up, we have my amazing sister-in-law, Mandy Cawley, and Mandy has always been my product guru. When I had a question, y'all know I'm not a product girl. I love my products, but I can't even say some of the words. I try, but anyways, but Mandy has always been that personality that she likes to research and understand, and so she can say things so fluently. And so I asked her if she'd hop on here and talk today about our new products and what she has learned so far. And remember, some of these we just got, and so she just had a couple days to look over. Actually, maybe even one if I just asked her yesterday. So So take notes and listen, and then we can always ask questions on the team page. But if y'all have questions during the Zoom, put them in the chat and we'll try to get to them. Okay? Thank you. Go, Mandy. Oh, hold on, Mandy. You're muted. Hold on. Let me unmute you. I got to find you. Sorry. Oh, no, you're not. Go ahead.
Okay. So I don't know how fluidly I'll speak this morning because no one's been up in my house to talk to, so this is the first words I'm uttering today. So if I stumble, that's why. But I wanted to go ahead and start this morning by talking about lean because it was really the product that we hadn't really heard of before we went to convention, and it's pretty exciting. It's different from P96 because it is a full meal replacement. It has 230 calories in it, and it's going to go ahead and check all those tickers off that people ask about when it comes to protein. It's 100% vegetarian, certified non-GMO, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, no artificial sweeteners, preservatives, that sort of stuff. So we've got a good product in that. Generally, when people want to take a meal replacement, it's because they're wanting to lose weight. And when you're wanting to lose weight, you're cutting calories, you're cutting nutrients. And so one of the great things about Plexus Lean is that it has 24 vitamins and minerals in it. So you're not going to lose that nutrition by cutting out your calories. One of the big things about the vitamins in it is it is methylated. So there are a lot of people that have the genetic gene mutation for MHDFR. And so in those cases, folic acid can actually be toxic. But in this case, the folate is methylated, so people won't have an issue with that. It has prebiotic fibers in it, and so that's going to help you feed the good bacteria in your gut. And we all at Plexus love good things that are good for our gut. So it's going to help our guts by feeding those good bacteria. And that fiber is also going to help us feel fuller. And it does have 7 grams of fiber in it. I'm going to talk more about fiber a little bit later when I talk about the new hunger control too. It has 20 grams of protein, and so a lot of times when people introduce this much protein into their diets, they might have a hard time digesting it, and we do have a digestive enzyme in it that's going to help the protein digest better and not be so harsh on your stomach. The protein is innovative because it is all plant-based protein, and the sources for the protein in the lean comes from peas and rice. But I tasted it at convention, and I'll guarantee you do not taste peas and rice in it when you drink it. One of the things I think is going to be really crucial about the lean as we start talking to people about it and why they might want it is it has the protein in it, breaks down to amino acids, and one of the amino acids that is in it is leucine. And so I think this is going to be a key that we could learn about and talk about. And what that does is it helps with muscle recovery. So people who are working out will help there, but it will also help with the production of lean muscle mass. And if you've ever tried to lose weight or done any research on weight loss, you know that developing lean muscle mass is so great for your metabolism to help you burn more calories to lose more weight. So I think that is going to be a really big talking point. And Beth already talked about this earlier, but it is a buy one, give one, and it's kind of like your Tom's shoes. When you go to the store and you buy your Tom's shoes, you buy a pair of shoes, someone else gets one. Well, for every bag of lean, there are 14 servings in it. And what Plexus is going to be doing is when you buy your bag of lean, they're going to give 14 meals through Nourish One, which is part of the new Plexus charity, and it's going to provide 14 meals to Feeding America. So that's what we know about lean. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to hunger control really quickly. I know I don't want to take up a whole lot of time. This is something that we have been introduced before convention. What I want to say about it is a supercharged version of our original Slim that we had way back when. It is going to help control your hunger, help you feel fuller so that you do not want to eat. You'll drink it about 30 minutes prior to a meal. When you get your hunger control, you'll notice that the stick is a lot larger than the regular stick of Slim that we've had in the past. It's because it has double the amount of fiber in it. And that fiber in it is called polydextrose. And what it does is that it tracks water, and when it gets into your tummy, it creates a gel that actually fills up your stomach so that you don't want to eat as much. So that is that's what makes it so cool and makes you not want to eat. It's just like the old Slim. It's going to help support a healthy glucose metabolism. There's no artificial flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives, so all of that stays the same. Beth alluded to this a little bit earlier. It is different from the XOX in the fact that it does not have that fiber that's going to fill you up. The XOX actually feeds the good bacteria in your gut that is going to increase the bacteria that is naturally found in slim people. So that's the main difference right there. Now Beth talked a little bit about this earlier, but they talked about what we call fiber stacking, and this is what Ame Darling talked about on stage. If you have a customer that is going to say, oh, you've got these new products, I want to try hunger control and I want to try lean, you need to start them out slowly. You need to educate them on this is a different type of fiber. They could experience some bloating. They could have some issues in the bathroom. So you want to start out slow. You have to educate your customers on this, because if they take it 4 or 5 days and they stop going to the bathroom, they start retaining weight, they don't feel good, they're going to say, oh, Plexus doesn't work, this stuff is awful. So please, please, please educate your customers when they buy Hunger Control or Hunger Control and Lean. They need to start out slow. Start with Hunger Control first, and it's a half a stick of this Hunger Control Slim. In a couple of days, if things are still going smoothly, they can do the whole stick of Slim, and then start Lean slowly as well too. But we do not want any dissatisfied customers, because we have failed to be educated ourselves, or we have failed to educate them on what they might experience. So the last one we're going to talk about is Joyome. So we all love Joyome, and this is this 2-step regimen. It's quick, it's easy, it's going to take their place of the eye creams, the wrinkle creams, and the serums, and you only have to do 2 things, once in the morning and once at night after you've washed your face. Now, Plexus, I love Plexus because I think their science is often revolutionary and innovative, and I see that in the Joyome as well. It has a patented delivery system. So I kind of think about it like our X Factor, how our X Factor, we're able to actually, it's bioavailable to us so our body can use it. It doesn't just get flushed out. But I feel like that is what this delivery system is. It's called the hydrolipid delivery system, and it actually gets the ingredients from the Joyome into our skin deep down where it needs to be without it just sitting on the surface of our skin and not getting where it needs to be. So that is going to be crucial in seeing results. Another thing I love about this product is that it has lots of banned ingredients in it. So the European Union that keeps licensure on like self-care products, they ban 1,300 ingredients. In the United States, we only ban 11. So this is going to be very important for us, because there's not going to be anything that's going to be this clean. When Plexus created, they went a step further, and they even banned other questionable ingredients that they didn't put in it. So we've got a really good product here that's not going to be chemical laden, and it's going to have, obviously has great results. Now, I talked about this earlier. Plexus people love gut health and the microbiome. Well, another way that Joyome is innovative is because it works because it's addressing the microbiome on your skin. No one else is doing this. This is really revolutionary. So we knew at Too Big to Miss, we heard some of their early results from the lab. We heard that the lab was kind of flabbergasted and excited because they hadn't seen the results they had seen in just 1 week. And then Beth went on to share at the beginning of the Zoom the results from the end of the clinical trial. So I won't say all of that again, but we all know that's working. We can see it on our faces, and it's proven. So that's all I have.
Isn't she amazing? She's so good. And she just says it like, yeah, I know, right? Can Mandy get in my brain? Yeah. If I had like a piece of it, it'd be great. Anyways, but one thing I do want to say is one question people have, you can take XOS and HC. You can take one of each if you want. And the XOS does have, those prebiotics and all of that. And the other thing I wanted to say was that I know that hunger control really is trying to control your appetite, but I was reading, I don't know if it's a Jewel or somebody posted somewhere the other day that she actually needed to gain weight, and she actually did gain some weight on HC. And so it's kind of like back in the day when people would ask, like, what if you don't need to lose weight? Can you still take Slim? Because Slim kind of throws that name. Yes, people actually, it's going to do whatever you need it to do in your body. And so personally, I'm keeping my kids on XOS because they need the XOS part of it. And I know I'm taking right now 2 HCs just because I am trying to lose weight, but I may go back to one-on-one eventually. So anyways, that's product. So thank you, Mandy. She's always so awesome. I'm so glad you got to go to convention this year. Okay, so now we're going to go through each of the breakouts, and everybody, the people that have asked to speak may speak on their actual breakout, and they're also going to give their takeaways from convention. So we may have some overlap, but I think it's good for us to hear what everybody learned. So the first up, we're going to talk with Suzanne Graves, and Suzanne, it was her very first convention, and she was in the Ambassador to Silver group. And so we're so excited to hear from Suzanne. So Suzanne, can you unmute yourself, and then you are up.
Can you hear me?
I can.
All right. Beth, I was in the gold. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay. I thought you knew that, but
no, I may have.
All right. So my name is
last week, and I can't remember a whole lot of.
I know. It's hard to keep track. All right. I'm Suzanne Graves, and I am a gold ambassador from Columbus, Nebraska, and I will have been a ambassador with Plexus. It's 3 years at the end of July. This is my first convention, and honestly, like, I did not know what to expect going in. I've always heard great things. So it's just a little overwhelming on really what to expect and how it's going to go down. But I'm going to just tell you some of my highlights, and then I'm going to try to just stick to 3 of my takeaways, because when Beth asked me to talk, I was like, I don't even know where to start. And then I got home and I'm like exhausted, and my family needs me. So just trying to focus in on my takeaways here. So you guys, like, if you have not been to convention, it is mind blowing the way that Plexus does things. Just to the littlest things, down to the key cards to our room, everything was Plexus out. It was just amazing. Like, the little things that they did not have to do, that just made you feel special, and you were where you were supposed to be at that time. You knew you were supposed to be there. They gave all of us bags filled with goodies and things to use for ourselves. I just felt really, really special there from the get-go. So, obviously great speakers, John Maxwell, tons and tons of take home there. And then my favorite, when like the diamonds and, the jewels got up on stage, they would give them, they chose certain ones, and they'd give them, just a few minutes to share. And those testimonies were like super, super encouraging. But Beth posted on the team page, Aaron Bush's testimony, and standing ovation. I was bawling in tears. Her story, her little testimony was so moving. So if you have not looked at that, scroll down on Beth's page and check that out. I am working my business, and I love my products. They have changed my life, but I feel like I've been kind of behind the scenes and haven't gone to a lot of events. And so it was super cool to go to these events and watch these people, and the people on my Nebraska team, just getting to see them face to face, getting to meet Beth. I've already met her, but getting to hang out with these people, like, they are genuine people. They are people that go up on that stage, and they are just regular men and women on that stage. Like, one thing that I've been telling my family is, like, anybody can do this business. Like, anyone can do this. And like, being in this room full of almost 12,000 people, like, we all love Plexus, and we are all there because we love the products and because we want to change lives. Like, it gives me goosebumps. Like, people love Plexus, and it was just crowds and crowds. I've never been around so many people, and we were all there for one reason. And so I just want to encourage you that I was like, it didn't matter how young or old. Like, I walked past, I was a young, older couple was in front of me, probably in their 70s, a husband and wife, and they were walking. And I'm like, they love Plexus. Like, they're here and they're changing lives. Like, this older couple, young moms and the babies and the kids all over. Like, it's for everyone, big and small people. Everybody felt so encouraged there. And I sat by a gal on the plane, and she said that one of her teammates, she said, there are so many beautiful people here, and I felt beautiful. Like, she doesn't normally feel beautiful, but she's like, everybody made me feel beautiful. It's just the confidence that you get, the love that is shown to you there. So I really, really loved being with my team, bonding with my team, growing with my team, and they have no idea how much love they gave to me and filled me up that way. I'm getting off on a tangent here. I'm sorry. But okay, so a couple things. I listened to Rhonda Shaw in the Gold training, and she talked about, like, are you a positive or are you a negative? So when you're having a conversation with somebody, do they come away like being filled up by you, or do they come away being totally drained, totally negative, and just exhausted by being with you? So I was really encouraged by that. Like, just kind of coming, thinking of my conversations on a day-to-day basis, whether it's with my kids or it's with my husband, my close friends, my family, like, how did I make them feel? Did I fill them up, or did I just take away from them and drain them? So that was really big for me. How applying it to your team, how are you filling them up on a daily basis, reaching out to them and just loving on them? Like, that's one thing I loved about it, is people are genuine and they love you. She quoted, I did not get who she quoted, but this was the quote she told us: a cup brim full of sweetness cannot spill 1 ounce of bitter water, no matter how suddenly it is jarred. So that was super cool. Like, what's coming out of your cup. She used a lot of Noah St. John's books. And one of the things he said she used from his is, your life is a reflection of the thoughts you constantly think. So just so much good there. So I'm running over here, so I'll try to finish up. So I sat down and did 3 takeaways. So my first one is building my belief. Like, we talk about that all the time, building my belief and building your belief, why you're here. I think, we go to these big events and we hear these crazy stories and testimonies, and we're such on a high, whether it's even going to your church on Sunday and you are on a high, and then we just go back and we get into our normal routine and our daily grind, and then we don't put it to play. So it's like, if you were there, go home and sit and think, what are a couple things that I'm going to take away that I can start today? So mine was building my belief. I have had a belief from the start, but I'm really going to sit down and focus on right now, what is my belief? Why am I doing this? And then doing it my way. All those people up there, people that have been successful, everybody finds their way. And so just doing it your way. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter. Everybody's there and got there by their own way. So I was super encouraged by that. And then the second one was getting rid of my fear, because you do doubt yourself. Everybody does. And one of the gals said, we're not up here because things were easy. We're not, at our rank because things were easy for us. Like, we got told no all the time. That's scary. That's hard. But we did it, like we stepped up. We were okay with being told no and moved on to the next one. So just like not being fearful, because a lot of times it's not about you, it's about them. So I take it personal. So trying not to take it personal, getting rid of my fear. And then the third one, obviously our convention was legacy. And that was huge for me, because I am the only person that can write my legacy. And nobody in this world owes me anything. And so I have to be the one who writes my story, and I'm in control of that. And with God as my captain, he's driving the ship, and I'm just hanging out on the side, just having him help me write my legacy and not being fearful of that. So I summarized it, but I'm telling you, people, if you haven't been, you need to go. You will not regret it. So
Thank you, Suzanne. I had so much fun hanging out with you, and I'm so sorry. I said the wrong group. I'm so sorry. Oh, I feel so bad. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to promise. Okay. All right. So next up we have Jen Bridgham. Is she on here? Jen, if you'll unmute yourself. And Jen, actually, she used to live in Frisco. Now she lives in Colorado. Are you on here?
I'm here. Good morning.
Okay. So Jen's going to give us her takeaways.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I just have a couple of things I want to share with y'all. I'm a note taker, so bear with me if I glance back and forth to my notes because I just want to be conscious of everyone's time this morning. I am a gold ambassador. I've been with the company for 5 years. Y'all, pardon me if I cry, even in sharing with you. I felt like we went to church in our gold and senior gold breakout session. As well as the rest of every other session that we experienced this year. This was my 5th convention, and what I learned from Melissa Eichenhorst and Rhonda Shaw in our breakout sessions were focused on building a legacy mind, building a legacy business, and also building a legacy team. So on those 3 kind of umbrellas is what we were kind of trained on and focused on. So I'm just going to kind of go through some bullet points with y'all, and hopefully, if anyone wants my notes, I'm happy to share them too. So what really spoke to me was just not letting your rank or your points define you. If you get to gold, you are in the top 1% of Plexus. This is a really great achievement. And if you can make it to gold, you can make it to diamond, because essentially what you have done as gold is you have gone silver 7 times. You just need to duplicate. This spoke to me so much because I know that in my beginning, I got in my own way. I tried to recreate the wheel. I personally tried to do things my way. They spoke specifically to us about getting out of your own way. I was like, okay, are you just talking to Jen Bridgham? Yes, you are. Because it's tempting to want to do things your own way. It is a distraction. It will slow you down. We need to trust Plexus and the professionals and the top leaders that they know what they're doing. They are doing the behind the scenes work and research and focus groups, and we just need to follow what they're doing. Don't try and do it yourself. It will be harder. I am a testament to this. And so they were talking about, building your legacy mind. And I think Suzanne spoke on this. Are you draining people? Are you filling people up? You are a leader. If you when you are a gold ambassador, you have a team. Pour into these people. Do things consistently so that you are building a legacy business. The affirmations are huge in your mind. Revisiting your why, even on a weekly basis, a daily basis, why are you doing this? So that you can help and guide and love on your team and building those relationships. And when you're a gold or senior gold ambassador, you need to be building those relationships and fostering those relationships with your people that trusted you. They signed up under you. They want you. And building a legacy business. Sorry, I'm trying to talk real fast. I have a timer for my 5 minutes. Melissa Eichenhorst talks about managing the emotional roller coaster. And despite the ups and downs on this journey, you have got to stay in your seat. Stay focused, and it is going to go up and down on this roller coaster, but it is worth it at the end, y'all. It is worth it. Do not overcomplicate your business. Duplicate. Keep it simple. Work smarter, not harder. This goes back to what I just said about not recreating the wheel and trying to do things yourself. Use an effective system for duplication, because that way you're building your team wide with level ones. They can do the same thing that you're doing with the easy systems of duplication that corporate is giving us these tools. Use these tools. The 64 connection worksheet, daily IPA worksheet, the shareables and product videos. Y'all, I graduated with a marketing degree. When I started 5 years ago, we did not have what the corporate has given us now. And I will shout from the rooftops on how amazing the value of the shareables and product videos and things that we have now as these tools that we did not have when we started 5 years ago. Use them. They're effective. They're compliant. We're not going to get in trouble because they're compliant. And don't overcomplicate things. In building your legacy business, I'm just going to take a breath right here. Does your work ethic match your goal? Does your work ethic match your goal? Daily, when you are working, what is your goal? What is your why? Are you putting in the time to make it happen so that you can achieve your goals? Building a legacy team. We are creating a team that has a long-lasting legacy. A gold, senior gold. You've got people that are under you. They've got dreams and desires. Don't just focus on the next rank. Focus on building a legacy team. And what does this mean with your culture? Building a foundation on solid rock. Don't focus just on the minimum. And the strength means keep adding your level ones, deep and wide. Oh, there goes my timer.
Oh, what's going on?
I just got one more thing. Use your sponsoring checklist so you cover everything and you don't miss steps. This came in your welcome pack, so pull this sucker out and use it, your sponsoring checklist, so that you can go through signing people up and duplication and keeping it simple. And then stay in momentum. When you're in momentum, don't get out of momentum. That is huge. And lastly, I'll just share with y'all what just spoke to me. Was that you want to avoid your doubt and your personal shame and fears, because your worth comes from our Heavenly Father, and it is in God who created us to who we are to be. And if you can get there and you fell out of rank, you can do it again and you can build it. So
yes, so good. I'm like, yes, I have chills. Like everybody's speaking, I just have chills. I love it. Like coming off. I mean, seriously, guys, amazing. Thank you so much, Jen. I appreciate it. Okay, so next up we have Kathleen White. Kathleen, can you unmute yourself and say hi?
Yes. Hi, everybody. Can you hear me? All right. Great. Thanks, Jen. You were amazing, and now I have to follow you.
You're going to be amazing.
I'm not a note taker. I did write some things down to say, but I did not take a lot of notes. I was more in the moment at convention. But I'm Kathleen White. I live in Prosper, Texas. I'm a senior Ruby ambassador. I've been the Plexus almost 5 years. I have been senior Ruby for a very long time. So I'm speaking to the stagnant right now, which it's not a bad thing. But anyway, I was in the senior Ruby, and it sounds like everybody pretty much had the same platform.
We have the same topic. Everybody just put their own spin depending on where you were.
Exactly. So it was about mindset and being positive. Emily Gibson spoke with us, and I really fell in love with her. She's got a great personality. She was super sweet, and she was talking about not overcomplicating things. She basically was saying, when you get someone new, kind of don't reinvent the wheel, but keep it very simple and duplicatable. You don't want to do, join this 7-day and this 14-day and this 20-day. And then you end up with, so many groups you're a part of, you kind of lose sight of what you're even doing. So kind of keep it fairly simple and duplicatable, and follow up. And this speaks to me because I'm the worst at following up, and I need to be better about it. Truly, when you get a new ambassador or a new customer, make it a priority to follow up. Either put it, if you use your phone calendar or a written calendar, write it down and have it there. Set an alarm, something to just remind you, hey, touch base with them, because that's where it really does make an impact. But as far as like my biggest takeaway through the entire thing was really, and if you were there, Christy Wright, she was an amazing speaker and she was great. But whether you're just starting out or you're stagnant in your business, it's very easy to compare. And that is very easy to get negative with yourself. Like, there's no way I'm ever going to get there. That's not possible. And so I really liked what she said about focusing on the step, not the staircase. Don't focus on the fact that you're going to be a diamond and you've got to get there. Focus on that step. And just one step at a time, because that's what's going to get you up the staircase. And so that really spoke to me, because I'm sitting here 5 years in and I'm looking at it like it's an impossible reach, and it's truly not. I just need to really buckle down and take it one step at a time. And so I really liked the new Consistency Club, because that's fairly small and something attainable 1 month at a time. So just really working on my IPA to make sure that I can get those little rewards that will eventually get me to where I need to be. And that was basically my takeaway.
Thank you. I loved it. I loved having you there. So last year, it was a little bit earlier, and so all of our teachers could not be there because it was the last week of school. So Mandy, Kathleen were in the last year. So I was glad to have everybody back.
Yes, me too. I was glad to go.
So good. So anyways, thank you. And I am thankful for you, Kathleen. You know that. So, okay, so next up we have Kate Tenpenny, and Kate was in our Emerald group. Kate, can you unmute?
Got it.
Hey, this was your first time in the Emerald group, right?
It was.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so congratulations on that, and
Thank you.
take it away.
All right. So I'm going to try and talk fast as well. So many incredible takeaways from our Emerald workshop. It was one of the highlights for me, for sure. So we heard from Rebecca Folks, Amber Miller, and Erin Zimmerman. So we talked about actions, attitude, and lives. They talked a lot about mindset, the way we think about ourselves, our business, and the actions it will take to create success. She shared this quote from Emerson: "Who you are speaks so loudly, I can't hear what you're saying." And that really kind of was something that stuck with me, because what we put out there is so important, and how we kind of lead as a leader. Your team is always watching you at all times. This means in chats, on the Jewel pages, in any group pages, and your presentation when you're at events. It's important to have a legacy mindset and present with that in all of your actions. Recognize the success in others, utilizing shout outs on team pages and chats. One of a cool tip she told me was, a lot of times people will private message me successes that they've had. And what she does is she has those people, she asks them to post them in like her leaders chats and on her team pages, because so many people, could benefit from seeing that. So if they're open to doing that, that can really help with mindset and just team morale. We also on our team have a prospect and customer page, so that's a great place to ask them to share that as well. Posts on their walls, calling out success and their success mindset. It doesn't have to be a big, huge event to recognize them. It feels so good to be praised and recognized. So any small thing, and work with your teammates one-on-one to build that mindset. Mindset is such a powerful force. So they talked about how you can literally transform your brain and the way that you think. And my background's in psychotherapy, so I kind of geeked out on this. It's so true. We can literally change how we think and perceive things with constant daily affirmations. So Amber went more into time management, and she said, if we are not working our business is working us. And I think that's key, and it kind of plays off of what John Maxwell was talking about too, is that there really isn't a thing as time management. It's more priority management, and I completely agree. So use your time wisely and be intentional with everything that you do. I know we're all incredibly busy. I have 4 small kiddos, and it's crazy. And I think sometimes we can be busy all day long, but get nothing accomplished. And so it's important for us to really look at what we're doing. And the next thing I was going to say was, ask yourself, am I doing the busy work or the important work? Important work is usually the hard work, right? The reach outs, things that are going to make you a little bit uncomfortable, but it's also what will drive your business. So never confuse motion with action. They're very, very different. Keep an action diary. I think this can be really eye-opening. She also told us about an app called Space, which tracks how many times you unlock your phone a day. And that can be extremely eye-opening, because it's important that when we are with our families, we're present, and when we're working our business, we're present and intentional. So, putting your phone away when you're cooking dinner and when you're with your kids. I am guilty beyond guilty of just trying to fit it in the nooks and crannies. And sometimes what that looks like is just a more chaotic day, instead of taking time to be 100% invested in whatever task you're doing, whether that be with your family or your business. So I'm going to make some changes as well. Your number one activity you want to be doing during your time to work your business is to share, connect, and follow up. So those are the IPAs: share, connect, follow up, and keeping that super simple and personal along the way. I'm going to skip over some of the stuff. When we sponsor, we bring freshness and new life to our team. It's important, even as a jewel or a diamond or a silver ambassador, to always have that as your priority and be spending the most time in your business building your team and your business and sponsoring. Using daily IPA sheets, Plexus made them. They're in our back office, so we can utilize those. Write down your activity. and, use things like Netflix time or time that's downtime to make things like images and things like that that are not considered IPAs. Creating team momentum. We create momentum through duplication and successful onboarding. It is so important to keep this system simple. Several months ago, we kind of did an overhaul on our team page, and we're just using the Quick Start Guide. And they really, really emphasize that, as well as the sponsoring checklist that I think Jenny alluded to. It's so important to keep it simple and duplicatable, because that's how your organization grows. I think a lot of times I hear from folks, it's way too overwhelming, and then people drop off. We have to make this simple so that anybody can do it and not feel like they have to know everything or do everything all at once. Goal is always to get them into action and get them to an event. So within the first couple days, get them to make their first post, 3-way messages with their sponsor of anybody who likes or comments, and then get them to an event, whether that's online, a Facebook event, an event within your customer and potential page, or an in-person event. Team resource boxes. We have a pinned post on our team page that has been really helpful with different categories, so we can tag people in that when they first join, and everything is in one place. I love that. Team mindset. So in order to foster growth and positivity, it's important that we understand that we are not growing points, we are growing people. And I think that is something that really hits home. It's important that we understand that our job is to take care of our teammates and really add value to them as well. Each month, think to yourself, who can I help go silver? It's all based on that foundation, that power of 3. And who can you help go gold, etc. They talked about the difference between being a thermostat and a thermometer for your team. Instead of trying to react like a thermometer, we want to be a thermostat and control and guard and protect our team culture. Watch your ego leadership. We need to lead with the sole focus of helping our leaders see the potential in themselves. So kind of taking the focus off you, but instead empowering them to lead and take on tasks. You don't build a business, you build people, and the people then build the business. You don't want to be the lid for your team, right? You don't want, I pray every day that a leader will surpass me on my team. It's what I want. And so I think that's important. Erin Zimmerman, I'm going to do this really quick because I'm probably running out of time. She talked a lot about coaching. And I've tried coaching before on our team, and it didn't go great. It didn't go horrible, but it didn't go great. And she gave us some good tips on how to make this time with your team who is open to coaching effective. Just remember that you have a volunteer workforce. You always have to breathe life into your teams, and coaching can be a great way to make sure that they understand that they're good enough. And so she suggested focusing on 3 areas: celebration, discovery, and action planning during your calls. I'm happy to post the images with the questions during these stages on Team Anderson if you guys want me to, because there's too many to go over. But the first couple minutes, chat and connect. Then the first thing you do is celebrate what's going good for them. What are they excited about? What is going on that they're doing really, really well? Second phase, discovery. Dive into the challenges they are facing in their personal life and business. It's our job not to tell them, to ask really good questions to help them get the skill set to do it themselves. The other great question that I loved was, what makes success important to you? Getting to the heart of that can really transform their business. 100% coaching is about asking good questions and listening. So I'm a talker, so I definitely have to just encourage or just tell myself to listen, because that's what's so important. And asking them what they've tried so far, discovering what they've utilized so far. And then the third step is the action planning. Help your people choose specific tasks they can do before the next call. If you offer advice here, that's fine, but keep it simple. A great question to ask at the end about their action plan that they came up with is, do they feel that would be the best use of their time? I think that's an important question to ask. Had a diamond panel at the end, which was awesome. They really focused on keeping your runners and working with your runners who are in working with them closely. I know Christy Wright and John Maxwell both alluded to the 80-20 rule. That's hard for me as well. I want to help everybody, but it's important that we are running with our partners and supporting them first. Strategies for retention. Don't change your business for the season. Always work your business at the same level. And also qualifying your potentials for ambassador versus PC will help with retention. And creating leaders, give them the room to do it their way and to really kind of be creative with ideas and setting the expectations that all leaders fail and struggle. We all struggle and it happens, and we need to lean into it when it does and realize that it's okay and just kind of guide our leaders through their struggles by at the same time being real and transparent. Okay, I think I got it all.
Good job. So everybody wants you to put your did you just freeze? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Sounds like, wait, you just froze. If you can put your screenshots on there, that'd be great. And if anybody has anything like that, put it on Team Anderson, because like we weren't in any of these groups. I was only in one group. So anyways, okay, so the last group that we had was the Sapphire Diamond group. And I asked Kristen Rogers to give her takeaways from that group. Kristen was actually sitting right next to me, and just watching her was so fun. I don't remember last year if it was Sapphire Diamond or if it was just Diamond. I can't remember how it was done last year. But anyways, but it was neat to sit by Kristen and watch her be in that group with me. And so anyways, Kristen, go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, I sat next to Beth. I'm Kristen Rogers, formerly from California. Thanks to Plexus, we're in Texas. But yes, I cried. Before it even started, I cried. I can't believe I'm even in this room.
So awesome.
I look over and there's Sonia Dudley, and then I look over and there's Christy Hull, and I'm like, this is just crazy. And when you said...
Hold on. Before the meeting even started, what did Christy Hull tell you?
I don't remember. She told me a lot. Tell me.
Remember we were talking about you going Diamond, and you were like, remember? And what did she say to you? What did she say?
She said she said I'm going to do it.
She said you're going
to. But I mean.
Yeah. Right?
And yes, we're going to do it. And that's why when you said if you're gold, if you can go gold, you can go diamond. And that is so, so true. I don't care how long you've been there, how fast it goes. I was at senior gold forever. So yes, so true. His plan all the way. I'll quickly share my favorite things. One of my favorite quotes was, people may hear your words, but they feel your attitude. And I just took that to heart because sometimes, not all the time, things can get to our heads. And I feel like I've seen that. I've been with Plexus for 3.5 years, and it's so important to stay humble and kind. No matter how far or fast or long you go, we are in this business for our people. It's a people business, and people can see your heart before they see anything. So keep it good. It helps, obviously, with prayer and reading the Bible and surrounding yourself with positive people. And one of the other slides said, research shows 75 to 85% of mental, physical, and behavioral illness comes from one's thought life. And I know we've talked a lot about positive affirmations, but it really does. It's about the love hormone and the stress hormone. And when you tell yourself something positive, it raises your love hormone, and you can spread that onto your team. When you tell yourself something negative and other people are being negative, that raises your stress hormone, which you then in turn pass along to your team. So if you're one that's saying, I'm stuck in this business, I'm going to be gold forever, I'm not adding any ambassadors, what do you think your team is going to feel? They're going to feel your stress hormone. They're going to feel it. You can't stop that. You can be as happy and rainbows and butterflies on your team page as you want, but they will feel it. I promise you. If you're one to wake up and be like, I'm going to add an ambassador, I'm going to add a business builder, I'm going to add someone that wants it today, this month, I'm going to add 3, your team is going to feel that and then hopefully work off of that. So mindset, we talked a lot about. And then also one of my favorite things was, remember when you were silver. A lot of times some of us have been in this business for 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and it's hard to remember when we first started. We can't sign someone up and just say, I'm going to add you to 14 team pages. You're going to watch these videos and you're going to go silver in 7 days. And, you know, if someone would have told me that when I started, I would have been like, you people are crazy. I'm going to go back to drinking my pink drink in the closet because you're crazy. So we have to remember what we did when we were silver or going silver. I watched YouTube videos, but they were 5 to 10 minutes. I couldn't sit there and watch a 30-minute YouTube video. I would have a question, so I'd YouTube it and get my answers. I was on 1, maybe 2. I've been on Beth's team page since day 1, team pages, and I'm a red personality, so I would rather work alone in certain situations and tell myself, I can do this. I can do it by myself. I don't need any help. I'm going to do this. But a lot of people aren't like that. So depending on your friend that joins you, it needs to be structured to them. Remember when you went silver, don't overwhelm them. Back to basics, start simple, don't reinvent the wheel. We have everything we need in our back office and on YouTube and our team pages. So Kristen Abart was one of our diamond trainers, and she told us her secret. So I'm going to pass on her secret to you all, and it was to find people who are better than you. And that's it. And she said a lot of times we're so in the scarcity mode, like, I'll pay your membership fee if you join me, or I'll give you this, or I'll give you that. We need to find people that are better than us, that are going to do better than us in this business. And yeah, it's easier said than done. And we're going to sign people who give up, and we're going to help a few people maybe with their membership costs. But in the long run, your diamonds will be people who are better than you. And like Kate said, I am so excited for my runners on my team to pass me. Like, just keep running. I would love that, and I pray for that too. And that in turn helps you. So we can't forget where we're going, why we started, and why we are a part of a legacy company, because we want these things for our friends and our family. It's not just about us. It's so not about us. So that's all. Those were my favorite takeaways. I loved Christy White so much too. This was my 3rd convention, and every year they get better. So if you weren't at this one, next year will probably be 100 times better, because that's what Plexus does. And Leaders Retreat, so jealous. So jealous.
But it's so good,
So,
right? It's so good.
yes.
So good this way.
Yeah, I'm super excited for our teams, but I would love to be there. Leaders Retreat has always been my favorite, well, besides Hawaii, my favorite trip. So get there.
Yes,
So
for
thank
sure.
you, Beth.
Of course, thank you, Kristen. So a couple more things that I wanted to say, and then we're going to close up because I know we're almost at time. And so please don't hang up, because these are great. I mean, I think they're great. Anyways, one thing that they were talking about in our diamond meeting, and this was very interesting to me. They were talking about momentum a little bit, and they said 30% of your level ones have to be silver or above to keep growing. 30%. So that means if you have, I can't do the math. I'm not even going to act like it. I know if you have 100 and about level ones, you have to have 30. They're at least silver and above. You have to get people to be in momentum, get people working this business for sure. How do you keep people with Plexus? With culture. I preach it all the time, guys. People will stay with Plexus if they are a part of something. What are you doing to make your team be a part of something? Are you including them? Are you having gatherings? Are you having lunches? Are you having Zooms? Are you just signing people and not ever doing anything with them? Not ever following up, just saying, okay, great. Because there's not that many people that will take it and run without you helping them some and you keeping in touch with them. It's great if you can sign people, but what are you going to do with that? Are you going to reach out to your brand new level 2s? You have to reach out to people, and that's how you're going to grow, and that's how you're going to get people to grow. This has to be a relationship. Plexus is so relationship-based. And I have gotten terrible, I feel like, at that culture, at our team culture. Y'all know each one of I love you, but we get busy, and we used to have lunches. We're going to start all that back because it's fun, right? It makes Plexus so much fun, much more fun. And so I definitely, again, it's all about the people. It's not about the points. It's definitely about the people, and that's what we've got to go back to for sure. So so that was just a couple things. Everybody's covered so much, and it's been so great. Christy Wright was absolutely amazing. If y'all were not there, you need to follow her. She has a Facebook page. She has a book. Christy is Christy, Wright, Wright. But she talked about how fear is not from God. Guys, everybody's scared sometimes to do this business. I'm scared sometimes to do this business. When I start getting on this team, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start emailing all these people or messaging all these people or voice messaging or doing a Facebook Live. Whoa, stop. That's not what I do. But guys, if it can touch somebody's life and change their life, I promise it's so worth it. And so we can't let fear stop us. Fear is not from God, right? It's from the devil. And he gets in our head and he's like, oh, well, if you do that, what are your friends going to think? If you get on there and do a live and talk about what Plexus has done for you, you're going to lose friends. They're going to be talking about you, right? No, they're not. They're your friends. If they're talking about you, they're not your friend. I mean, seriously, guys, you can't let fear stop you. Your friends are going to love you. I promise, even now, sometimes when I start messaging people, I get scared because I'm like, these are people I haven't talked to in a long time, or these are people that, what are they going to judge me? They're not. They may say no and they may ignore you, and it's okay. But what if they said yes, and what if it changed their life? And what if they said no and then they said yes 3 years later, like one of my very best friends did, and it's changed her health? What if? We cannot be scared. We cannot be scared. I just think this was an amazing convention. I just think that it just showed me, even more, not that I don't know this all the time, but God is a part of this company from the very beginning and all the way down. And there's something to say for that, because not many companies would allow every person on stage to get up there and proclaim Jesus at all. Seriously, that is so not normal. And they don't stop us ever. And so it's really amazing. Like, I have chills even thinking about it. But for those that you weren't there, and I posted this on my page, but y'all, I have posted so much. Please scroll. I'm just trying to keep everybody informed, and there's so much information. But when we were leaving convention, our final thing, Alita had just sang her song Legacy, which was amazing. Fireworks going off, all of that. We're walking out and everybody's leaving. And the DJ starts playing. We did DJ on the stage. The DJ starts playing what a beautiful name it is, the name of Jesus. And people start worshiping Jesus as we're walking out of convention. That's what topped off our convention. That's how we end a convention. Who does that? Who does that? Who had tears in their eyes? I know I did. Like, it was the most beautiful thing ever. And to know that that's what my company's about. And no, Plexus is not a Christian company per se, but Jesus is all over Plexus. And to me, that's the best thing in the world, knowing where I am and knowing that that's the most important thing, and that he is here. He is changing lives. He has put all of us in each other's life for a reason. He has given us Plexus. He has put Plexus in your life for a reason. I remember sitting at my first convention in Dallas, and I was actually Diamond. I'd never been to a convention. And I remember sitting in my room, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm just telling you the story. I'd won all the prizes. I was in the top 5 convention earners that year. And the top 5 or 10, I don't remember, convention earners won a suite. And so I'm sitting in the suite, and they had just given me my diamonds, and I had this trophy, and I had this check. And I just sat there and I was like, why me? Like, why in the world is this happening to me? And I still think that so many times. Why am I in a leadership position? I promise you, before Plexus, and even today sometimes, I think I'm a terrible leader. Like, why am I here? Why do I have this huge team of people? Why is this my life? But all I know is that God blessed me with this, and God blessed you with this. And I fought it, and I said I wasn't going to do it, and I wasn't going to have anything to do. But God gave you this business, and you need to be thankful for that. He put you in this business. You need to be thankful for that, and you need to do whatever you need to do, whatever that means for you. But he has given you this blessing, and it's yours to do whatever you can do with it for. And so I just really absolutely believe that 1,000,000%. And I've seen it in my own life. I'm looking down because I'm about to read something. I'm not being rude, I promise. No, I'm thinking on my phone while we're talking. But Christy, right at the very end, she said, I mean, this was just convention. Her favorite verse is Matthew 5:14 through 16. And I really took this, and I love this verse. I've always loved this verse. There's probably several songs, but there's one song in particular that I love that it just gets me every time. But I'm going to read it. And I really feel like this has become, I want this to be my family's life verse because it's so important. It's, you are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. Guys, we've been given this opportunity to shine for him. We've been given this opportunity to take care of people and to love people. And so that's what we have to do. And that's what I got. That's what convention was to me. It was so much fun. I loved seeing everybody. I loved all the fun, fancy events. I loved the concert, all of that. But that's what it was for me. We're sit here to shine and to be a light for him. And so that's what it is to me. And that's what convention was. So anyways, if y'all have any questions, please put them on the team page. Please, 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 please don't let this convention high go away tomorrow. Please get busy. Please get working. Please start sharing all of these. Even just call your friends and tell them what a great time you had and all the things that you did. Because people, it's cool. It's fun, you know. But anyways, if y'all need anything, y'all know I'm always here. Thank you to all of you who spoke. And I will put the recording on as soon as I can. It may be later because I'm about to leave to go get my Luke. So anyways, we will see y'all later. Thank you, guys.